Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Spin Room, where you are being joined today by myself, Lady J, my daughter, Jasmine, and my beautiful sister, Chevette. I don't know, you all. Oh, first, let me say, please forgive us last night for not tuning in, but we had my beautiful sister, Chevette. I don't know, you all. Oh, first, let me say, please forgive us last night for not tuning in, but we had my beautiful sister. Oh, you all, please forgive Jasmine. She's gonna tell me it's 7 o'clock and it's time to open up and start, but then she has me listening to myself. Anywho, you all, please forgive us last night. We did not tune in. We prayed and felt like last night we needed to take a spiritual break so we could go ahead and gather our thoughts, gather our feelings, and come back to the room today on a fresh note. Today, one of the topics in the Spin Room, we're going to talk about this whole snitch code. Snitch code is the best way that I could do it. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. Let me back up a minute and say, everyone, welcome to the Spin Room. If you're new in the room, we'd like to welcome you. We hope that you continue to keep coming back. And for our regulars, we'd like to say, hey, 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 what's your tea today? Now, like I said, this evening, one of the things we're going to be discussing is what we have come to name the snitch code, okay? Because it seems like we have a real serious snitch code that's taking place in Chicago, Illinois, better known as Chirac. I'm starting to kind of understand why they call it Chirac. I don't know, you guys. We've been sitting here all day today again, listening to some of the new videos and new conversations that's been taking place in regards to the Kenneka Jenkins case. We've been going back again and dissecting some of the old videos and old conversations. And I'm gonna tell you guys, to be honest with you, almost 3 weeks into this thing, and nothing just really is not making any sense. We're no closer today than we were 3 weeks ago on figuring out what truly happened to Kenneka Jenkins at the Crowne Plaza Hotel located in Rosemont, Illinois. Everybody has a theory. Everybody says they're being looked for. They're being chased down. The Illuminati's looking for them. The FBI shutting down their YouTube. Their phones are being tapped. They got all this pertinent information as to who killed Kanika, how Kanika was killed, but nobody's gone to the police with this information. Oh, that's right, I forgot. They have a snitch code. I don't know, you guys. Things just aren't sitting right with me. I'm sitting here looking at the screen trying to see if anyone, hey, Bank, what's up? Welcome to the Spin Room. I see we have some new people in here this evening. I wasn't with you all the night before last. I was sick and had to go in for a procedure yesterday. So that's why I didn't join Jasmine the other night, but I'm back doing good. And we ready to have a discussion. Oh, let me not forget, let's lay down the rules. In this room, everybody agrees that it is okay for us it is okay to disagree, okay? It is okay for us to disagree, to be disagreeable. We will respect one another's thoughts, one another's feelings, and one another's opinions, because the reality is, at the end of the day, none of us has solved the case to what happened to Kenneka Jenkins in that room on September the 9th. So your opinion is no more pertinent than mine, and mine no more pertinent than yours. Let me see. Someone said, if you go to the police in Chicago, you are as good as dead, which is why none of the friends have stated anything. If you talk, your family members could be killed. I understand that. I completely understand that. But when I'm saying people, we have about 200 plus people that I can go on YouTube and pull videos and pull names that they claim that they've solved the case. It just doesn't make sense. How have you solved something that's yet been solved? It doesn't make sense. If you have information as So what good is the information then? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out to what degree do we go before somebody decides that somebody in law enforcement needs to hear what they have, the information they don't have. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why everybody feels like Teresa Martin owes us the explanation as to what happened to her daughter, how we know she's not being held by the snitch code. Everybody's beating her down like she's supposed to just be giving us an update all day, every day as to what she knows, what she doesn't know. She, you know, we beat her down. She's an unfit mother. She knows exactly what happened to her daughter, but she's not coming forth and telling any of us what happened. Who the hell are we? When did we get so important that that woman owes us anything? Let's not forget, how do we know she's not being held to the snitch code?
Hello, everybody. This is Jasmine, and let me just back up just for a second, because I think everybody is misunderstanding the point that my mother is making. We're not talking about the people in the room. We are not talking about, hello, Stephanie, hi, why you tripping? Hello to some of our normals, our regulars, excuse me. We're not talking about the people that are in the room. I'm gonna call out names. We are talking about people like Lewis, who swears that he sees this video. He posted in his room, Stand Up Against Violence. He clearly stated that he saw the person that killed Kanika. So your duty, that is why you're here. That is why you came out and you started this cause and you rallied behind everybody else. You did, this is what you signed up for. There's no such thing as a street code for you. This is your job. This is your duty. So when you come into a room, it's more important for you to come into a room and post that you have seen this video, quote unquote, these are his words. I saw the video and it's very clear who killed her, okay? But then as soon as everybody busted you out and wanted to see this video, now, oh, I never saw the video. I never saw it. But when your likes were going up and your follows were going up and everybody was pinging into you and coming on your lives, you can come to us with this information, but you can't go to the police. So what code are you following? I don't understand. So I'm just trying to get a clear understanding, because that's today why this room is called We Are Calling Out the Frauds. They are frauds. That is you are a fraud. I am calling you out, and if anybody would like to go get him and bring him here, I will let him know. You are a fraud. It is no longer about Kenneka Jenkins to you all. It is about likes, follows, friend request, and attention. And I'm sorry, excuse my language, but they are attention whores. Every day you're live. He's currently live at this very moment. I'm just the messenger. Well, if you're the messenger, why don't you go take that message to the police? Because I don't understand what code you're following.
Blocking the mic, Jasmine, you're blocking the mic. We need to read some questions. Hey, Kayla. Ebony, Lady Num, let me see, Stephanie, welcome everybody. Let me see, Lady said, I made a video about the same thing you guys are speaking on, and I'm so glad that you're speaking up about this, because of how they did that lady last night was just wrong. Exactly, Lady, it's not making sense to me. Everybody wants Teresa Martin to come forth because everybody assumes that she already knows what happens to her daughter. I even seen a video today where somebody said on live, somebody already has put a live video out saying Teresa Martin has received the result of the second autopsy of her daughter, of Kanika, and the second autopsy has come back saying that definitely she was murdered. Where is everybody getting this information from? This is what I'm not understanding. Where is everybody getting this information from? Then when Teresa Martin comes out and does a live and says everybody's lying, she don't know what people are talking about or where they're getting that information from, then one more time they revert back to this woman is covering up what really happened to her daughter. It's not, it's like everybody's trying to be an Indian, but ain't nobody willing to, everybody's trying to be a chief, but nobody wants to be an Indian. Everybody wants to make it appear as though they have solved the unsolvable. It's like, I'm not understanding it. Let me see. At Stephanie, did you assist with being a moderator? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that was you talking, and you're asking her, can she help me a moderator? You sound like the lady that be on live with Mike Larry. Oh, you mean my voice sounds like that, April? Or you mean I'm saying what that individual is saying? Because I have tried to be very biased. Anybody that's been coming on our blog or in our room the last few nights knows that I've tried to stay very open-minded. But after 3 weeks going in, everybody claims that they know. I mean, and then this is the thing that kills me. Y'all got a snitch code in Chicago, but everybody's on live talking about what they know. Really? Y'all got a snitch code. Oh, okay, April. Y'all got a snitch code, but everybody's on. My daughter woke me up at 3:30 this morning, Las Vegas time. Mama, you got to wake up and see this. You will not believe this. They are on live at 3 o'clock our time, in here arguing back and forth about who knows what. They got Monifa on the phone, so they say it was Monifa on the phone. Monifa's claiming that, you know, Monifa's giving up information, and then this person's giving up information. Everybody looks like a bunch of fools now. It's like a bunch of fools chasing fools. Okay, you guys come with some questions, because see, I get caught up in it and I just get frustrated. Let me see. Stephanie said, sure, I don't know how the, oh, Stephanie said she is sure, but she doesn't know how the moderator works. You might want to help her a little bit. As Jordan said, snitch code is ridiculous. Think about it. Each of those individuals that witnessed or had any part in the drugging, rape, death, or disposal of Kanika, their lives are already in jeopardy. So, I mean, yeah, I agree, Jordan. What is the snitch code? Because it just sounds crazy to me.
He repo 6 equals 11 because he doesn't have the details. So what kind of activist are you trying to be?
I mean, then everybody's, hey, Irene. Irene said, I think protesters got mad. Now they're making up stuff to make Teresa look bad.
Correct.
Exactly, Irene. That's all it is. You know, now everybody's beating down Jetta, you know, talking about stealing money from the fund. Stealing what money? Stealing what money? I mean, you take $5,000, $6,000 and you start bailing people out of jail. You feeding 100, 150 plus people, plus putting them up with a roof over their head while they're protesting. I mean, really, people, how far do y'all think $5,000, $6,000 is gonna go? What was there to steal? It wasn't nothing to steal. It's like everybody's mad because they didn't get to play a certain part in this whole scenario. So now everybody's sitting back, just making up their own stories. I guess the police is sitting back laughing, because it would be a joke to me right about now. So Ola Hall said, if I was the mother, nobody would have heard anything from me. I wouldn't have done any interviews or live streams. Bam, that part right there, Ola. That part right there. I would not have given out near bit of information, because honestly, it's not our business. It really isn't. That woman can give us what she wants to give us, and what she doesn't want to give us, she does not owe us the explanation. Let me see. Lady Mom said, when you do them with the streets, you just can't be opening your mouth. So by what you see, especially if nobody is doing dirt together. So never mind the fact that nobody's speaking means that everybody did drink together. But if you speak on it, they're going to knock this is the streets. These people don't have any couth about them, and they don't care who they hurt. That's apparent. That's very apparent. I mean, really. And I've seen, I don't know who it was. I think it was Ebony that said a few minutes ago up in the comments, I hope the funeral, I truly hope the funeral, it does not turn out to be a mockery, because this woman, this child's death has been made a mockery of. It has been made an outright mockery of. Everybody's a freedom fighter. What are you fighting for? Because if you know something and you're not letting it be told to somebody higher up, then you're fighting for nothing. I'm not going to go stand on the battle line and fight for a cause, and then when I have an open door, it shows me what's behind the cause. Now I'm just going to hold on to that information. That doesn't even sound intelligent. Here, Jasmine, you might want to read a few questions.
Okay, so going up over a few questions before we continue on. We don't want anybody to feel left out of the conversation. Lady said, well, let's go back up. Felix said, these are kids. Their street code is different compared to when we was growing up. And I understand that. Listen, I have a lot of friends that live by this code. I get it 100%, but I can guarantee you those friends that signed up, or those friends that have that strong belief in this code, are not going to go sign up to be protesters and sign up to be freedom fighters. They're not going to do that because they believe in this code. You're not going to be a freedom fighter if you have a code that you do not go to the police. You are here to fight for a cause. When my ex-boyfriend was murdered, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, but I'm gonna tell you what, I had his name plastered over everything, the murderer's name plastered over everything, picture plastered over everything. Anytime I heard something, I was calling the tip line, the whole nine. So there's a big difference in somebody who you live by the streets, you follow street codes. If you live by the streets, why are you a freedom fighter? Because you believe in the code of the people that are killing these people you're fighting for. So you're kind of contradicting your own belief. You're either from the streets and you believe in this code, or you're against what's going on in the streets and you're fighting against the code. Completely different. It's completely different things. So I'm sorry, and I understand what everybody is saying. If you believe, hello Kayla, how are you doing? Hello everybody, welcome to the room. We just want to say a couple of names. Hi Jewel, hi Ebony, hi Connie, Corrine, hi Corrine, Felix, Bink, Lady. Okay, but there's two totally different things. I feel like everybody is getting so sidetracked, and this is what they're doing, and this is what the devil wants. And Lewis sits in this room and talks about division, but the only people that's building division is them. Oh, you know, on your live, you know, somebody please reach out to Teresa and let Teresa know if she wants us out there, we'll come out. Why does she want to deal with you guys when every 5 minutes you are lying on the murder of her daughter? You have turned this into comedy. Hello, Robert, how are you doing? Hello, Renee, hello, how are you? You can't be both is the moral of the story. You cannot go by a street code, but then fight the cause against the street code. It doesn't work. And at the end of the day, I am over these people. And for all the people that are in this room and to all of our subscribers, I am asking you, please stop feeding into their bull-ish. Please stop following these people. Please stop being the supporter of BS. If it is about Kanika, let it be about Kanika. It's really funny to me, and it's little things that I look at. Prime example. These particular individuals started a group named Justice for Kenneka Jenkins. Mm-hmm. The moment their numbers went up, they changed the name of the group. Mm-hmm. As soon as they started posting videos about who the murderer was, they changed the group from private to secret. Mm-hmm. I asked, does Jedediah know about this room? Nobody responded. Because when I look at his posts are completely different than what you guys have going on in this particular room. I'm looking at the mess where they're talking about people are sending naked pictures to Lewis, and you have P. Rico who's live talking about, he just posted 10-15 minutes ago, they're on to me, they deleted all of my lives. Who is on to you? Why? What makes you guys so relevant that the police are paying attention to you more than they're paying attention to the people that killed Kanika? Give me a break. And we have to look at this in our spiritual eyes and stop following these people. Unfollow them. Quit giving them the time of day. Allow them to go back to being unimportant, because that's what they are right now. Hello, JJ Sander, how are you? Kayla, hello. Lady said, when nobody is speaking about is why she said she felt like they was still in Lewis. Lewis last night admitted that he had a donation page of his own.
Wow.
For what, lady?
Wow.
Why? What do you have a donation page for? Why? Why? Have you guys taken this freedom fighter thing and even went and got the necessary paperwork for it? Or is this something that you're just making up? Have you went down and started a nonprofit organization so when people donate, they can get a tax write-off? Have you guys done any of this? Or are you just sitting back riding off of this name and you've invented something to call it, and now you're collecting people's money? But I don't see anybody out there fighting any other causes if it's no longer about Kanika.
Like, I just see the question that the statement as Jordan made out there, Jazz. As Jordan said, where are the agents of change? Because snitch code equals coward code. Let's just go back, because I'm a 60s, 70s baby. I came into this world, right around the time, of Martin Luther King, and where the real freedom fighters came from. I grew up with the Black Panthers, the real freedom fighters. And it's like, okay, a snitch code equals a coward code. Because if I know that there are people out there that are bringing destruction to my young Black children, to our Black neighborhoods, to our communities, I want you out of my neighborhood. I want you off my block, because the next child found in a freezer might be my daughter, might be my granddaughter, might be one of my nieces. So what do you mean? If you're out there supposed to be a freedom fighter, and you're fighting for change, and you're fighting for all this violence and stuff to stop, and you're fighting for an answer to why it's continuing, and the police aren't doing anything about it, then why in the hell are you sitting up and have committed yourself to what you call the snitch code? Because I agree with Jordan. To me, that equals nothing but a coward code. It's like my daughter said, when her ex-boyfriend was killed back in March, we was plastering the family's names up on Facebook. We was going to their Facebook pages, letting them know that we knew where their son was hiding out at. We was all on the streets letting people know where he was, passing out information and everything. No, if you bad enough to walk up in somebody's house and take their life execution style, then you need to be bad enough to go to jail and do the time for the crime that you committed. Now, call me a snitch if you want to.
So we have a couple of more questions on here. Kayla said, laugh out loud, I just said that about social media snitching. Correct, Kayla. Like they make no sense to what they're saying, and I'm not gonna sit I'm trying my best to not beat these people down. But at the end of the day, now what you're doing is you are making a mockery of Kenneka Jenkins. I'm sorry. And there are some of us that are out there that are extremely dedicated to finding out what's going on. For my regulars that are in this room, they know every night we sit and we go through each and every page together. We've done our own investigation work. You might as well say late at night, we do investigations. We go through the clear 9. And for those of you guys in the room who were with me the other day, I have some tea to drop on you. So we'll get to the tea time in just a minute. Don't let me forget. But exactly, Stephanie, we spend time investigating this case. So to be in a room and hear people talk the way they're talking and to make a joke out of it, which now what it has done is it has made people who were once invested now want to back away from it because it's messy. It's very messy. It's very high school. They have turned it into comedy, and I don't appreciate it. And anytime and any chance I get, I will expose these people. Every day you guys are live at 3:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. The other day I couldn't even get up the next day to go live because Stephanie and JJ and Sweetberry, by the time I got off a live with you guys, my Facebook was blowing up with live feeds of this mysterious video that was released. And let's point out a couple of things that he said that's let's call BS when we call BS. The first lie was he saw the video that showed Kanika being murdered. Then once that rallied the room up, then he turned around and changed it to, no, excuse me, he saw the video and he couldn't believe that her friend sat back and allowed her to be killed like that. He saw who did it and he saw the video. Then when it rallied the room up, he turned around and changed it to, it's white people that killed her. I'm sorry, I didn't see not a near white person in any of those live videos, nowhere in that party. The only white person I saw was the footage of the lobby, and they were checking in. That's it. But then he posts the video of this distorted screen, okay, showing, I don't know what he was showing. Supposedly it was her kicking. But then when everybody called him out on that BS and told him, oh, well, that video came out 3-4 days ago. Then he went live today and said, I didn't see the video. It was told to me that this is what was seen in the video. I'm not here for attention. I'm not here for likes. It's all about Kanika. Bullshit. Okay? I'm going to call you out. Bullshit. Then you have P. Rico, who is live 3, 4, 5 times a day. He's constantly bringing people onto his live to ask questions, but can't answer not a mere question. He didn't know anything about the video in the hotel room. Nothing. He couldn't even name the names of the people that were in the room. The girl asked him, what is the man's name that was doing the live? Oh yeah. You're talking about, I know who you're talking about. Ty Rowland is who you're talking about. Mike D. Tate is another person that was in the room. Cornelius was in the room. Cornell was in the room. Dion was in the room. Oliver was in the room. How do you not know these names? What have you guys been fighting for? You don't even know the background of the case. The world knows more than these individuals, but you give these very basic answers, and then let's not talk about Mr. Lamont, who comes into the room to say that he talked to Monifa while she was in jail, but the same thing that you're saying that Monifa told you is the same exact story that everybody has been posting on Facebook. So where are you getting this information from? Bullshit. All three of you guys are full of SHIT. Stephanie said, I'm sorry, Sweetberry said, the white people killed Kanika. Narrative is pissing me off. Too many distractions. Cowardice said, justice means righteousness, fair, peace, equality, judgment, honesty, morality, etc. Those who honor the snitch code lack moral principle, just as the murderer. You are cut from the same cloth. Exactly, which is what we were saying earlier. I saw somebody else. I'm sorry. Stephanie said, yes, I remember all of that. When he first came out by saying he saw it clear as day and everyone was watching and recording, including Monifa. Correct. Mysteriously, Monifa doesn't want to reach out to P. Rico, but she will reach out to Lamont. She'll go live, but the screen is all dark because your hair's not done. This was the concern for you not showing yourself on camera, and you expect everybody to believe that this is Monifa, but when you scroll back through after they posted the video, if you scroll back through to look for Monifa comments, The comments were all gone, as if they were deleted. Come on, you guys, give me a break. And what pisses me off the most is that these YouTube bloggers and all of the people on Facebook, as soon as they say it, they ride with it. I just watched a video, and this is not to down Mike Larry by no means necessary. Love him to death. But Mike Larry just did a video where he circled somebody in the back and said, I see the white person. Where? Where? Lady said, JJ said it created a bunch of opportunities to fuel their own narrative for profit. Exactly, JJ. That's all that it is. That's all that it is, and that's all this is about. They are no longer concerned with Kanika, because if you were, guess what? You would be out at the protest. There's still people out there protesting. It was about 10 people out there protesting with bullhorns and everything. Why are you not out there? Why are you sitting in your living room on live, on multiple screens, talking about this girl, but it's all about Kanika, but nobody's down at the protest. Nobody. You're constantly asking for money to a freedom rider, but Jedediah just said that they are not a part of him. So where is this money going that you're asking for? Sweet Berry said, wow, a mofo could at least try to remember the name of all the folks involved. Come on, shaking my damn head at people. Exactly. Lady said he know that man's name because he's from Chicago. The man looked like he wanted to poop himself. Knows who he is. Exactly.
Okay, it's Lady J. I'm stepping back, you guys. I'm cooking at the same time that I'm talking with you guys, but something just came to my mind. And not trying to, make Jasmine and I in my sister's room look any better than anyone else's. But what's with all the everybody? We need you to like on this video, and then we need you to share. Send our link. I don't care if we don't get but 4 people in here every day that can sit here and have an intelligent, intellectual conversation with us to try to help us help each other make sense of why this tragedy has taken the spin that it has taken. I could care less about anybody liking, clicking, sharing, any of that. Because what we're definitely not doing is sitting here in our living room waiting to try to see how many likes we can get just so we can get a check from YouTube. Okay. And I shared with Jasmine today, I said, well, the reality of it is the majority of them must not even have legitimate jobs, because all they do is sit up from sun up to wee hours of the morning every day, making live videos, giving you a breakdown and their analytical explanation as to what they think took place. Now they've gone as far as, no, this isn't what I think happened in the room. This is what I know happened in the room. This is fact. Everybody's followed up with, this is fact. Really, people? Really? Do you know the definition of fact? Do you know the definition of a coward? Do you know what a true freedom fighter is and what they stand for? I mean, it's just like so many things. And it's like now I'm at the point where, like Jasmine said, this is all about a bunch of media hungry, desperate people looking for approval. I didn't even know that Lewis had come out and said that he had opened up a fund page collecting funds. So what was he collecting funds for? To pay his rent? Because he was out there protesting.
To pay the gym membership. No.
Oh, that's what it is. He needs money to pay. My sister said he needs to make money so he can purchase copies or pay for copies of the video to be made. I mean, it's just, I don't know, people. It's just, I don't know. Let me read some questions here. Lady said, in my opinion, I feel like if they're going to be activists, they should be well vetted and need to have a license to do so. Amen. Very good point, lady. Very good point. Very good point. Let me see. Jasmine is scrolling down. Eve said, let me see. Eve said the killers are trying to be online famous kids, raping, trying to make a hit. Even some of the activists. Exactly, Eve. It's like everybody's now trying to get a piece of the pie. All they're seeing is dollar signs. Nobody is seeing the tragedy in this anymore. Nobody is not realizing the fact that this could have been any one of us, mother, sister, friend, cousin, niece. It could have been any one of our families that have been faced with this tragedy. And to think that individuals would be comfortable in their own skin making a mockery of something like this, it's just unfounded. It's unheard of. Robert Kennedy said, I like that name. Robert said they found something to cash in on. Robert, not only did they found something to cash in on, and they are running buck wild with it. They are running buck wild with it. They have not only made a mockery of Kanika's death, they have, I can't even begin to find the words to say what they have done to that mother. Really. I mean, I have my opinions about Teresa Martin, but what I wasn't going to do is go on live or go in some comment box and start bashing that woman, because honestly, as a mother, I really don't know what that woman is going through. I really don't know what she's up against. For all we know, her family has been threatened to keep quiet. Maybe she does know what has happened to her daughter, but maybe she also feels like it's none of our business. I mean, would you want to come out and tell what you know after you see what's already taken place? We went from a quiet, peaceful protest into a straight soap opera. This is worse. They might just take this and put it on the air and run it every week after they run Atlanta Housewives and Basketball Wives. That's what they need to do. They need to take all this scripting and all these videos and stuff they have and just make a reality TV show out of it, because that's what the majority of these people have done. I gotta go check on something.
Sorry, everybody, we keep switching back and forth because my mother is over here cooking a great meal. You know, and I just got invited to a live I think it's somebody in the room just sent me an invite to watch a live, and the same person that we're speaking on, Lewis, is currently in the room talking to Mike Larry. And if anybody noticed, whoever's in this room, throw up a 1 if you're in this room, this particular room that I'm talking about. It's all about Kanika, but you reach out to a blogger and tag them in the room with them as if you're doing an interview. What information do you have that is valid information that you can sit back and do a damn interview? You are looking for likes because you know this man is going to post it on his blog. And of course, people are going to come and send you I'm just over these people. I'm so frustrated that they have done this. Annie said Mike Larry got people out here looking like fools. I mean, leave it to him. The damn Illuminati is looking for him. The Illuminati was just looking for Mike Larry just a week ago. Leave it to Mike Larry just a week ago. You were no longer doing any more videos on Kenneka Jenkins because somebody called you and you were scared, and your child is in your house and you don't want your child to be in danger, so you're no longer doing any more videos. Well, I see mysteriously the child ain't that important because you're still doing videos. What happened, or what did you hear that made you feel like the Illuminati or the police or whoever it is that you felt was knocking at your door is no longer looking for you? Give me a damn break. And the only reason I'm compassionate about it the way that I am is because we just lost somebody the same way. My ex-boyfriend's friend came and shot him in his head, execution style. I don't play around. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's a joke. And you know what I did? I took a picture of him in his bed with a gunshot wound to his head and posted a picture in the room and said, "How dare you think this is funny?" Ask me, did they post that comment? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You want to know why? Because it would call out their bullshit. Why don't you come talk to me, the person that got a problem with you? That's how mad I am, you guys, and you know I don't cuss. I'm so sorry. No. Welcome to the room, Kayla. Welcome to the room, Annie. Welcome to the room, anybody else that just came in. We're currently talking about the fakes and the frauds and how they have just made comedy. I can't, you guys don't even understand how pissed off I am. I am mad that these people in Lamont, let me tell you something. This is a house of people with a spiritual connection, and there is nothing about you that makes my spirit jump in a good way. Nothing. You are a fake prophet. You are not about God. You are not what you say you are. You are a fraud. Okay? Fraud. And y'all could tell them Jasmine said it and sent them my way if you want to. Cowardice said, please, people, stop insulting the real freedom fighters. Stop. Sorry. Stop and watch some old footage of real freedom fighters and activists. When you choose to pick up that mantle, you are willing to die for justice. Not sit on Facebook Live crying about 5 charges. Yeah. Every day it's about the 5 charges that you picked up and how you got to fight these charges. Well, that's what you signed up for when you decided to be a freedom fighter. Freedom fighters went to jail. Freedom fighters were beat. They were beat down. Their families were hurt and harmed. These people were sneaking in the middle of the night, taking people to the Underground Railroad. They were sitting in homes talking about how they were going to free slaves while people were outside gunning them down and throwing bricks through their window.
When they talk about being a freedom fighter, does anybody know how many charges and how many times Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, does anybody know how many times those individuals went to jail and took charges for fighting for justice for somebody that they didn't even know, fighting for justice to make change in our communities all across the country, state to state? I mean, come on. And if they allowed going to jail to be the reason that they no longer continue with their plight and with their fight, we'd be even worse off than what we are now. And then the other thing I want to say, and please forgive me, this is not to say anything about anybody of any other race that may be in the room with us tonight, but I have to say this. It's like, Black people, wake up. Do you guys not realize, or do we not realize, that every time we are faced with a tragedy like this, they sit back and watch us because they already know what we're going to do. They know we're going to come out with a bang. Justice, Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace. And then 2 weeks, 2 days into it, we're going to be out in the streets rioting, turning against one another, shooting each other, talking about knocking each other off. Really? And then we want to get mad because of what they do. Look at what we do. Look at our own behavior. We are our own worst enemy. We are our own worst enemy. Yeah. There is no P. This girl is dead. This girl is not coming back. Okay, looks like Cowardice has thrown something else out there. The new freedom fighters equal. I will fight as long as I am free and getting that money. Shaking my head. I like that one. Let me see. Stephanie said, wait, Ann said, hi, Ann. Ann said, guys, do we know for sure this tragedy happened? I know you all saw the post about witness protection program. I mean, Ann, I did see that. And I would hate to believe that even Rosemont, I would hate to believe that Rosemont Police Department, the Crowne Plaza, as well as Kanika's family, I would hate to believe that they would allow or sit back and watch this kind of stir up, knowing that that child was in witness protection. But even if she was in witness protection, how did it play out? Why would she be in witness protection? I mean, and if they're willing to put Kanika in witness protection, then why wouldn't they put the rest of these fools in witness protection that claims that they know what did really happen to Kanika? See, each time we come up with the theory of what we think could have possibly happened, it leads us right back to the beginning from. I truly believe that Kanika was murdered in that room by her friends, by her peers, by her associates. I believe personally that some of them may already be in custody. I really do. I believe some of them already may be in custody. The police is not going to come out and tell us that. Okay. All I can say is maybe through the grace of a loving God, if Kanika's mother decided to have a second autopsy done on her, depending on the results, if Teresa Martin decides to come out and share with the world what the findings of that autopsy are, maybe at that point, a lot of people's opinions, it will also make a lot of themselves and as well as her family. Let me see. Huggy said, even BDI, her best friend. What's the BD, Huggy? You gotta bring me up to date. I'm a little old fashioned. I'm a little old school. I know some of the lingo, but I don't know all of it. Somebody said, why wouldn't the police say her friends killed her? We went through the same exact thing with my daughter's ex-boyfriend. Okay, really, we have. We know for a fact that the young lady that he was involved in at the time played a very significant part in his death. We know this for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt. But guess what? Whenever we go to the police and we question them about that, guess what they tell us? At this time, we are unable to speak on that with you. At this time, because of where we're at in our investigation, we can't tell you yes, we can't tell you no. The day will come where you all will know everything that you need to know as far as what took place in that apartment and who the main players were in him being dead. But you guys have to realize an investigation is an investigation. Let me see. Ebony said we're breaking up. Are we still breaking up, Ebony? If you guys can hear me, put a 1, and if we're breaking up, put a 2. We're going to stop for a minute until you guys let us know. No. Robert says the second autopsy is done. They wouldn't be burying her on Saturday. Robert, no, sweetie, I have to differ with you on that based on what I know of. The second autopsy does not have to be done just because they're burying her. The tissues and different things they need in order to complete a second autopsy have probably been taken and removed from her body. But that does not stop her from being buried. We went through the same thing. And matter of fact, they allowed us to have our loved one's funeral. And right after the funeral, his body was returned back to the coroner's office because it was still being held as evidence. So the day of the funeral, after we had the service, they put him back in the car and returned him back to the coroner's office. Yeah. And you will know they can have a funeral for Kanika, and it doesn't mean her body's going to be buried just because they have a funeral. It does not mean her body is going to be buried. Anne said, so this all points to the powers that be. Yes, Anne. Exactly. And you know, Anne, if you know like I know, you know what those powers are. You know exactly what those powers are. Robert said they arrested a girl whose name was Tanisha. When did they do that, Robert? Bank said the sound is good now. Lady said, I believe they are going to get everybody involved, because you have to remember the news put it out as if it was put it out as a death investigation, but the mother specifically said the cops told her it's criminal. Oh, lady, I'm glad somebody else heard what I heard, because yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I tried to explain to people why the police initially put it out as what they call a death investigation. It doesn't mean that there was not criminal activity. It just means that when they discovered her body laying in that freezer, there was nothing physically visible that could deem it a homicide. Like, she didn't, apparently she didn't have a bullet wound to her head. Her chest wasn't cut wide open like somebody had stabbed her to death. She didn't have you know, rope marks around her neck where it was apparent that somebody had choked her to death. So when there are not immediate apparent like wounds or whatever, they can't call it a homicide. In any investigation, it has to be called a death investigation. With our loved one, the reason it was, they immediately deemed it a homicide, because when the police and the paramedics got there, it was only parent. He was laying in his kitchen on the floor with a bullet wound to his temple. Yes, you want to read?
I saw something that somebody said. Give me just a second to find it. No, well, Anne said, yeah, I can't view a body that's not in the casket. These peeps involved social media will all disappear slowly, just like they appeared. Correct. And again, you know, the closed casket thing, that's just by request. And we have to understand, Kanika has been dead a while, and your body starts to take a toll laying in that mortuary. The only reason we were able to have an open casket with my ex-boyfriend is because we donated all of his organs. So majority of his body was tape. Everything under his suit was tape. So they had to remold his body, and he looked great. And we couldn't have the funeral for 2 months. He laid in the corner in the mortuary for 2 months. But the only reason he looked as good as he looked is because all of his organs had been donated. Every organ he possibly had was able to be donated except for his lungs. And we were able to have an open casket. But again, like my mother said, we couldn't touch the body. They laid a sheer, it was a sheer sheet over the casket, so you could walk up and you can see him, but you couldn't touch the body. If you touched the body, they came and let us know. Please don't touch the body. Please don't lift it up, because at this time he's still the crime scene. Once we leave here, we will be taking him back to the coroner's office. We didn't get to get in the cars and go traveling with each other down to the grave site. So people, stop going off of what you hear and just running with it. Even the organ donating situation. People, there's so much more to just snatching the organ out of somebody's body and putting it into somebody else's body. Do the background work yourself. For my regulars that are in the room, what is it that we do? What is it that we do in this room nightly when we come on? When we ask questions, if we don't have the answer, we investigate it together. We get online and I Google the questions that you all have for me, and we look it up so that we can get a better understanding, and we can all move forward with a clear understanding, and we can all be on one accord. I'm not just going to read something and run with it. You cannot just snatch a girl's organ out in a freezer or freeze her body and go back and cut her open and take her organs out. That's not exactly fact check. That's what we do nightly. We fact check. Yeah. This is what this room is about. If we have a question and we have heard something, we are going to check our facts. Just like example, where did the second autopsy come from? The news article in there. We can Google it together. I can guarantee you we are not going to find anywhere that there was a second autopsy done. What we have done was we have listened to these people and we have ran with the second autopsy part. Mo said is the second autopsy the one of the attorney. The second autopsy would have to be requested by her mother. She would have to go find somebody to come in to do a second autopsy for her. Just because this woman is already having a funeral does not mean that the second autopsy is done. That's not what that means. We are riding off of what these people tell us, and we coast right along with it, and then it becomes a circle of rumors. Annie said, if they sell in body parts of dead people, it's to schools for autonomy purposes. Exactly. And if you read up on it, majority of the people who are dealing in the black market of organ harvesting, these people are in hospitals. Their loved ones are dying, and they're going back and realizing that there's organs missing. It's done in a hospital. There is a process to taking an organ. I'm not telling you what I know. I'm telling you, one, what I have looked into, two, what I have experienced.
Now, what I have learned about organ donating in Chicago, the state of Chicago, and I did my fact checking, is there is a very high volume, a very large number of African American people who are on Craigslist trying to sell their kidneys, or one of their kidneys. That I did see, which left my mind like, wow, people are that hungry for money that they will actually let these wackos or whatever come in and operate on you, remove one of your kidneys, and give you money to sell it to somebody else. I mean, that's kind of scary to me. Let me see. Who? Okay, Isaac, and we can understand what you feel. Isaac says y'all are beating a dead horse, and I don't feel that we're beating a dead horse. I feel that we're having a very open, intelligent, intellectual conversation amongst a group of people. We're not in here trying to solve the case. All we're doing is sharing our information, okay, or sharing our feelings and our thoughts and our opinions on this. We don't just talk about Kanika. We're talking about the state of the world, period. What's going on amongst our people? Because bottom line is, we as a people, we have a lot of nerve worrying about if somebody stole Kanika's body for organs. If it was a white person that stole her body for organs, and y'all in Chicago killing each other off quicker than kids eat a pack of Skittles. The internet in on any one day within an hour's time. The police is going from one homicide to another. Y'all have more homicides in Chicago on a Tuesday than we have all week long in Las Vegas, Nevada, or LA. I mean, that's scary to me. Then they got the nerve to be proud to be walking around talking about, I live in Chirac. Really? Chirac? Let me go read some more questions. So Isaac, if you're not comfortable with the topic that we're speaking on, you know, that's your right or whatever, but we're not going to go away. Okay. Okay, Isaac, sometimes I do take things the wrong way, sweetie. Go ahead, back me up. Go ahead, throw it out there on me. Put me in check. I am, one thing you'll find about Lady J is I am always open for corrective criticism, because I don't profess to know everything, and I sometimes do misread and misquote or misunderstand what someone is trying to say. So please correct me whenever you feel that I have taken something you said the wrong way. Because personally, I'm enjoying having you in the room. I'm just trying to keep you here. You know what I'm saying? They're helping the organ man. And said, what made this case so special is what you must ask yourselves. Ask ourselves, what made this case so special? As Jordan said, hospitals, medical schools, scientific labs receive organs for research and study purposes. Oftentimes, people will have specific requests for their organs to be donated for those purposes. Matter of fact, I have a girlfriend, Cowardice is so right. I have a girlfriend in Michigan, and this is that you guys might be able to pull it up and read up on it. I have a girlfriend in Michigan who 3 years ago now, very, very rare cancer, very rare. This cancer only hits like 1 in every so many million people. But she was diagnosed with this rare cancer and she died. What she did was, before she died, she signed off agreeing to give her body for 5 years. She is letting them use her body for 5 years to see if they can figure out where this cancer comes from, what causes this cancer, and if in fact they can will ever be able to find a cure for this cancer. Now, it's been 3 years now. It was for 5 years. In 2 years, her body, her remains, I'm not saying she'll still be in one whole piece, but in 5 years, her remains will be given back to her family, and at that point, memorial for her. And that's for real. She donated her body just for this purpose, and in 5 years, her body will be given back to the family just so they can have a memorial service for her. So we never know why people do what they do. Ebony says, okay, I can safely say, do not be an organ donor. This I can say. And after I saw what I call him my son, after I saw what my son went through and what we all had to go through watching him be an organ donor, I quickly changed my mind about being an organ donor, because I'm telling everybody, it's not the simple 1, 2, 3 process that people think that it is. They pronounced him dead like today, and for the next 6 to 7 days, we had to sit there and watch him laying in a bed. His heart was still beating, his chest was still moving in and out, his body was still warm. It was like he was still alive. But technically and legally, he had been dead for 5 or 6 days because of what they had to do in order to even process and prep his body for the organs to be donated. Mind you, now with certain organs, the recipient has to be right there. Once they take that organ out of the dead person, the recipient of that organ has to be right there ready to receive the organ. It's not like they can take the organ and run it up and down hallways, take it in and out of elevators. That person has to be right there waiting to receive that organ, because if it's not placed in the recipient's body within a certain amount of time, the organ is no longer any good. Somebody said from Detroit. Wow. Ebony said, wow, really? Yes. Let me see. Yes, you have your facts, Mama. Let me see. I think I want to donate all of my organs. That's Jasmine, you guys. She thinks she want to donate all her organs. Call her crazy. Well, I'm the mama, so if she go before me, I'm not donating anything, okay? I will change her handwriting on the paper, and y'all can go tell on me if you want to. Let me see. Kayla said, yeah, when my mom needed a kidney, I wasn't a match. She died in 2010. Oh, Kayla, I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry. I have a cousin right now who's on dialysis, and I stepped up and said that I would be willing to donate one of my kidneys to her, but because she doesn't want me to have to go through the process that they explained to her that we would both have to go through, she's backed out of it. She's chosen not to receive a new kidney and to just continue on with dialysis. It's not an easy decision at all for anyone. It really isn't. I have another friend who's been waiting 13 years now for a kidney. He's been on the kidney transplant list for 13 years and he still hasn't gotten a kidney. Let me see. Cowardice says, it is refreshing to see all of the males who are repulsed by the, oh, let me read over that again. Cowardice says, it is refreshing, males, all you males in the room, listen up. It is refreshing to see all of the males who are repulsed by the actions of the rapists / murderers Thank God for the real men who have hearts and compassion. There are still Black men who respect females. And yes, Cowardice, thank you for throwing that out there. And I just want to piggyback on that and say to all of you brothers out there who are listening, who have been in our room, who have shared your gut-wrenching, I mean, your heart, from your soul. I told my sister yesterday, I said, I cannot believe I have seen more men break down in tears behind this whole Kenneka Jenkins tragedy than I have women. And it really touched my heart. It really touched my heart to know that there are men, still men out there, and especially our Black men, because you know what, Black men, yeah, thank God that you all that have been joining this room are not like Tommy, Sotomayor, however you say his name, because that man has degraded us as Black women in every aspect of the word. I mean, it has blown my mind, things that has come out of that man's mouth and the things that he has said about Black women. It's like, you really hate your mother. For any Black man to sit up and say that he hates Black women, it speaks volumes to me about how you feel about your mother, your grandmother, your sisters, and definitely yourself. Somebody said, wait a minute, Kaposh has said, I am sure they have the people up who booked the room with a stolen card. The public only know so much. I agree. The public, we're only going to know so much. Because think about when you call yourself trying to figure out what somebody may have done or hasn't done to you. Just think about it. Think about the own little investigating you've done in your own life, something that has taken place. You don't pick up the phone and start calling everybody and letting them know what they know, or letting them know what you found or what you didn't find, because you know as soon as you go telling everybody, everything is out the window. Tried to accomplish, or you thought you had figured out, has now been thrown out the window because you ran and told one person too many, who then ran back and told everybody they knew. And by the time it gets back to you, your investigation has nothing to do with what they said it had to do with. Absolutely nothing. And we all know that. Okay, Jasmine said, okay, hold on, you guys. I'm trying to get back. Jasmine stepped out the room for a minute, and I'm not as computer suave as she is computer savvy as she is. Yes, Kayla, he is a pervert. The first day that my sister and I watched him, we were sitting on my bed, and I looked over at my sister. I said, this man needs to be in jail. He is a pervert. He is a pedophile. He is mentally deranged. He is sick. Alan said it's impossible to book a room with a stolen credit card. Now, I don't know if any of you all saw the live video that came out today with a young lady that actually works at a hotel. She was actually at work, and she took us through the whole procedure. She said, number one, whoever accepted that credit card, they knew that that card was stolen, pushed it through. They knew that the card was stolen and they pushed it through. But guess what else she revealed? She said, and she showed us certain people that work, the managers, access. She showed us, she was at home, and she is a manager at the hotel where she works. She says in all of these hotels, the managers of the hotel has access from their home to all of those video cameras. So all throughout the night, they can see every bit of movement on each one of those cameras. They can see the goings and the comings, the ins and the outs. So this wasn't a guy, this was a lady that just did this afternoon. And she actually went in to the hotel that she works at from her home, showed us the different cameras and showed us how you could see people checking in at the desk, people going out the door, people coming in the door. It was amazing to see. And she went live. Matter of fact, wasn't it with Lewis that she shared that information with Jeff? Yeah, she shared it with the information with Lewis and P. Rico. Okay, let's get back on some of these questions because I don't want my friends and my fam to be walking out of here because they say, lady. All right, you guys, I'm gonna shut my mouth and keep on talking because Jasmine has some tea time for you also.
You guys ready for my side effect? Can all of my regulars throw a 1 up? Really quick, before I give you guys the tea. It's not real serious tea, but it's good enough tea. But all my regulars, just throw a 1 up. Everybody that was in the room 2 days ago. Okay, so I have 1. I won't wait for all the ones to pop up. Okay, there we go. There's my 1. So, for everybody that's new in the room, me and my beautiful followers, we have our investigation time that we're probably not going to do tonight because I still want to look into some more things and then I'll get back to you guys. But we have our investigation time. So what we were able to figure out in our last live stream was one of the people that was in the room. So my followers from the other day, everybody was like, Jasmine, do not send him a message. Do not send him a message. He's not going to respond. Well, guys, he responded. So I'm currently working on getting a very exclusive with him. I'm trying to make him feel comfortable and at ease because he did open up, even though it was a rude open up, but it's okay. We looked past the cuss words. So for those of you guys that were in the room, let me see how I can do this. Y'all don't be reading my messages.
We are not the ones that carry gossip.
Yeah, we don't carry gossip. We go off facts here. So let me see. Anyway, so we left Mr. Mike D. Tate a message, and we let him know that we were reaching out to him. We wanted to be able to talk to him to get his side of what happened in the room that night. Back today at about 3 o'clock, he responded back, and he responded back, excuse my language, you guys, you know we try not to use that many cuss words in here.
No, we don't use any.
He said, BITCH, I'm innocent, ain't no story, you tripping, ain't I still free with no worries, fuck you mean, fuck you and your bloggers. So, of course, Mama J was over here like, he did not just cuss. I said, well, we're not going to worry about his cuss words. We're going to go right past his cuss words. What stuck out to me the most was, I never said he was guilty. I never said he was guilty. I never said he hurt Kanika. I never said he killed Kanika. We strictly just reached out to him and let him know we wanted to talk to him and get his opinion on what happened that night. So he responded back by saying he's innocent. Ain't he free? Okay, so I responded back and said, it's very clear you were in the room that night. We just wanted your view of what happened. And said, everybody knows I was in the room, fucker. I'm not denying that. I'm finna block your nosy, irrelevant ass. So of course, I'm sorry, Ebony, Mike D. Tate is the guy that was in the room. He's the one that you can hear in the background, the man that you can hear in the background that was talking to Kanika. Oh, why are you whores bringing up? Let's go back and read this. We'll get back to the tea time in just a minute. We are interested as to know who's in here. So somebody said in our room, why are you whores bringing up my name in your bullshit stream? Well, obviously it's not bullshit if you're here. So thank you for coming. And would you like to introduce yourself other than your irrelevant screen name? Person then said, you think I'm a fucking pedo, then call the police, you nasty black bitchs. What's a pedo? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's Tommy. This can't be Tommy. Oh, well, welcome to our room, Mr. Tommy. I'm so glad you're here because I have a whole lot of things to say about you, sweetie. So let's go ahead and get this topic started. Let's go ahead and close this tea real quick. We'll get back to this tea. First of all, let me explain something to you, Mr. Tommy. You have a platform to speak, and sometimes you have some very relevant points. However, I'm gonna need you to quit putting all black women in the same bucket. And I hope this is really you. Can somebody double check to make sure this is who we're speaking to really quick before I
It's the other idiot. He does shows with him.
see how I changed?
The bitches rose. I'm gone, whores. I'm live. Next time you call someone something as vulgar as a fed jackass. To each his own. And if the shoe doesn't fit, I'm gonna tell you like my parents used to say, don't wear it. Why are you allowing any of us to rent space free in your head? Because if you are not that which we called you, you wouldn't even find it necessary to step into this room, my friend. You don't get to control what's said in here and what's not said in here, regardless of whether you're Tommy or anyone else. Because what you're not going to do is come in this room and disrespect the brothers or sisters that's up in here. That's what you don't get to do, okay? It's sad that your mother that birthed to you did whatever she did to you. Take it out on your mother and your grandmother and your sisters, okay? Because those are the only ones that are whores. Look, every other word out of his mouth is bitches and hoes. Wow, 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 wow. Could you please block him? Does he's really take no, Jasmine, block him. Yeah, I refuse to allow him.
And just to clarify, first of all, Tommy, we didn't call you pedophiles. I don't know anything about you being a pedophile, so you might want to go back and listen to all those videos. What I did say is you are a scorned black man. That's what I said about you. You are very scorned, okay? And you are just extremely, somebody says CPS ASAP, quickly. Anyway, let me go live and make real money while you bitches wish you could be. First of all, let me explain something to you, sweetie. I don't need to go live to make money. My father was a professional baseball player, played for the Pirates, Mets, Oakland A's, and the Texas Rangers, baby. And I'm very educated. So before you go putting black women in the same bucket, honey, be ready for who you come for, because I will come for you and cause havoc on your life. Please understand that, baby. I will be the black woman you wish you didn't talk about. So understand that and get them facts straight real quick. So why don't you go ahead and go live and keep stealing money from the little PayPal friend of yours. Go ahead and get out while we can go back to our tea time. Can one of my moderators please block him? We're going to show you how relevant you are in this room. Good night and goodbye. So back to our tea, everybody. So Mr. Mike D. Tate came out and basically responded to our message. He told me he was getting ready to block me, and he didn't. So then I sent a message and I said, I never said you denied anything. We just wanted to speak with someone who was in the room to explain. Thank you, Stephanie. You're such a great moderator. We never said he was guilty. All we wanted to do was talk to him about the atmosphere that night and Kanika's mood. He responded and said, hey, listen, I'm from the streets. I got other shit to worry about than something that has nothing to do with me or nor involved in. So I responded back, of course I'm being nice. I said, definitely understand that. Understand what you're saying. Again, honestly, I don't think you harmed her, and I never accused you of being guilty either. I to understand the environment of the room, and again, her mindset. This is all we're trying to. Hi, Taylor, welcome to the room. So he responded back and put, thank you, sorry for disrespecting you. I put, no problem, sweetie. So what I did advise him is that if he would like to go off of the record and have a conversation with us, we would love to have that conversation so that we can give the world an idea of what was going on with Kanika that night, the air and the environment that was going on and what was going on in the room and what took place. So I'm going to keep you guys in the loop when it comes to Mr. Mike D. Tate. For those of you guys who are not aware of who Mike is, Mike was the guy that was in the live stream when Irene was in the room with the glasses on, and you could hear Kanika. You could hear Kanika saying she's not drunk. So I'm going to keep you guys in the loop. That was my tea time for the night. I just wanted to let all of my regular followers know that he did respond back to us. I'm going to go ahead and let my mom read some of the questions and responses. I do apologize for that brief little conflict right there with Tommy. Again, we've removed him from the room, and we will continue to move him from the room because he is not an important factor here.
Okay, you guys, let's all take some deep breaths, because that was Tommy kind of got. See, but you see how Satan works. See how he slid right up in here like a snake and started trying to wreak havoc up in here. But you don't get to come into what I have control over and wreak any type of havoc all day long. And we could talk all day and all night, but you don't get to come up in here calling women B's and H's. You don't get to start going off on the brothers up in here, no matter what their race is. Okay, that's what you don't get to do. Now, I saw where somebody said, Jamal, I think it's Jamal, new Kanika tribute on my channel. When y'all done here, okay, I don't know the code. What's that word? Okay. Rhyme. Okay. Y'all we'll go on over there when we're done here and give Jamal a high up, hands up. We're willing to support anybody that is passing along something intelligent, but we're not going to support any nonsense. Not up in here anyway. Let me see. Stephen Lover in the building. That's what Robert said. John Doe. I need a room made for a month. Trying to find herb. I need a room. Okay, John, stop with the jokes. John said, I need a roommate for a month. I'm trying to find herb and those. Okay, John. Okay. You might want to go on. Let me see. Alan said, no redemption for Tommy. Only babies and fools do God pardon. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Alan. Robert said, big up. Angry initial. You worked him well. I think your conversation with what's his name. Jay-Z said, Tommy from where? It's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Really, please believe me. Rugg said, Monifa can be seen spiking the first drink when the so-called manager knocked on the door. Facts. Play pause at 38 seconds to 43. Once you notice it, you can't miss it at regular speed. Did you guys hear that? That to my attention. If you go into that one video, you can actually see where Monifa is over by the door answers the door, Monifa goes down and she's putting something in Kanika's drink. I did see that. Cowardice said he can repent and seek forgiveness. However, I'm not confident he will. It's sad. Tonight, I can't keep up with everybody. Taylor said, nope, God is not the author of confusion. Bye, Tommy. Bye-bye, Tommy. We will not be a part of your confusion. Ebony said, let's move on. He is a nobody. Thank you, Ebony. Let me see. Somebody says, sounds like he is a Republican. He don't even know what he is. He's confused. Marie said, has anyone pulled the pic of the security who found her? Marie, from what I understand, the security that found her, as well as the manager, both, one of them quit, fired, but either one of them no longer work for the hotel. And I honestly don't know if there's pictures of either one of them. From what I was told, the manager was a Korean lady. The manager was a Korean lady, but I don't know who the security guard was. Okay, let's see. Somebody said laugh out loud. Somebody said the only relevant video is the live stream with Irene. Well, no, honestly, there's the only relevant video is Irene's as well as Ty Rowland's, because they said people are really not paying attention. Oh, she sure did, and look how clear it is. Wow. Looking at the video, this one is real clear. They will tail down you guys. There is too much politics in it. The individual that owns it is very well off, and he is a real estate investor. The owner of that hotel is a real estate. He's a lawyer as well as a real estate investor. I read up on him. Only a very well-renowned attorney, but he is also a real estate investor. Yes, he is a billionaire tycoon. K-Posh, you said, where did y'all find that out from? Find what out from? So we can answer your question more thoroughly. Find what out from? Clark said, you know what, though? Nobody knows if that was the manager. 2 seconds after they weren't at the door, the music goes back up. Wouldn't he come back to the door if that was real? I said the same exact thing. I honestly don't. I believe if it was the manager, I'm not going to even say it was the manager, because usually disturbance in a hotel like that, the manager of a hotel like that is not who comes to the door. Security comes to the door, not a manager. So I believe that whoever it was that knocked on the door was somebody that knew them, that knew somebody in that room, and they weren't there to try to shut the party down. I believe they knocked on the door to just warn them. Like, look, you guys, we have guests that are calling in making complaints, and you guys might want to bring the noise down a notch. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think that the person that knocked on the door was there to threaten them by saying that they're going to close the party down or they're going to start making people leave. I believe it was somebody that somebody in that room personally knew, and they were merely there to try to warn them that guests were now ringing the phone, making complaints about the noise. Let me see. Alan said, from the videos of people walking through the kitchen, the one where they have that small freezer, pay attention to the rooms and kitchen looks crazy for equipment and a bed. What? Oh yeah, Alan, you're gonna have to pull that video up and break it down for us, because I don't remember seeing a bed in the kitchen. I do know what I found very funny or very weird is that coffee cup in the kitchen. And then when I went back and did some further investigation on Kanika and her brother's page, it appears that him and his boys they're drinking out of those same exact type coffee cups. That I found to be suspect. That I found to be very suspect, where that one coffee cup was sitting alone in that kitchen. Found pictures of Kanika's brother and his friends, and every other picture that I found of them, they were holding those exact kind of cups in their hands. Jasmine's gonna go to it. Honestly don't believe, John Doe, that was the manager. I believe it was somebody that worked there in security, came to warn them that other guests in the hotel were making complaints or had started calling in complaining about the noise, and that person went and knocked on the door, because they weren't even at the door that long. The person wasn't even there that long. And usually a manager would have shut that party down. You cannot tell me that whoever that was that knocked on that door did not smell all of that weed coming out of that room. Chronic weed, influence, whatever you want to call it. You could not tell me that that individual did not smell that coming out of that room before they even opened the door. So I believe that it was someone that knew them. That was a white man's hand that pats Irene on the head in the glass. No, well, I'll have to go back and look. Let me see. Mo Brown said, you're going to see who's leaving and coming for the simple fact that it's a party. So the first thing that catches everyone's eye is the door being open. Well, okay, you guys, but let's go back and even think about this. News article that I saw that the police had, where the police were speaking, the police clearly stated that on that night, there was anywhere from 31 to 40 some odd individuals that came in and out of that room on that night. It was 35 people that came in and came out of that room on that night. There's no way that you can make me believe that management or security did not know that there was a party taking place on the floor in that hotel. You have that many guests coming in. They're all about the same age group. I'm quite sure they was coming in 3, 4, 5 at a time in groups. Somebody already knew that there was going to be a party in that hotel that night. Clearly worked there. I mean, really, we live in Las Vegas. Okay, hotel, motel city, where this is the city that never sleeps. Las Vegas is 24/7. And believe me, if 30 some odd people start walking through the lobby on their way to the guest elevators to go up to a guest floor, please believe me, security is queuing in on it, because they know that something is getting ready to take place. Security has already warned the front desk and the floor walkers, party is getting ready to be something going on. You might want to check out what floor it is. Keep your eye on it. You just can't make me believe that they didn't know that there was not a party going on in that hotel. Somebody says, and Tab said, and very loud guests. Exactly, Tab. I mean, listen to how loud they were. Extremely loud. They had all the smoke alarms covered with rags and sheets. You can't make me believe that the person that knocked on that door was not aware of all that. You guys want to ask if you? I gotta go check on the macaroni and cheese.
Pepar said exactly, I agree. Of course they knew there was going to be a party and teenagers consistently coming through at all times. Exactly. Once you see a large group of people walking through the door, same age range, it's very obvious that they're underage. They look young. I think Abriana is the oldest out of all the girls, out of Abriana, Kanika, Irene. Abriana's the oldest. Irene was turning 22, and then everybody else was the youngest. You can look at those kids and tell that they were underage. Annie said, I'm still leading towards the witness protection program now, and these fake activists messed everything up with their greed. Exactly. Now, I don't know about the witness protection part, because I mean that's a lot of work. It's a lot of discredit towards the city, towards Rosemont Police Department, and towards the hotel for one individual. And what is she in witness protection for? Something that her brother did, that he did because he's a known gang member. They're not going to. That's not. I personally don't witness protection thing. So let's just break it down like we usually do. So they put her in witness protection because something that her brother did, and the hotel, Rosemont, and the police department is willing to take a beat down from people because of this one individual and whoever he hurt or harmed. I don't see it. What I see is, nowadays, the way witness protection goes is you go down and you give victims of crime, and they give you money. They give you $2,500 to relocate and move. If it's bigger, then yes, they will put you in some type of witness protection, but they're going to move you somewhere and give you a new identity. Right. So
she was in witness protection. They are not going to risk her life and put her in that scenario with all those thugs to chance her losing her life.
JJ said they probably came into the hotel in small groups of maybe 5 or 6, pretty much like when Kanika, Shamaya, Brianna, and Monifa came in. Yeah, they probably did, but even still, you see groups of 5 coming into a hotel. It's possible. Cowardice said, all of you put your hand around your throat, squeeze, and say, help me. Imagine someone initially causing you harm. How would you, intentionally causing you harm, how would you sound in that position? That was not from the song. Yeah, I don't think it was on the song either. I did read last night where somebody said that, the siren is in the song. I'm not too familiar with the song. I only have become aware of the song ever since Kanika's passing, or ever since Kanika's murder. Has anybody ever heard the song? Have you guys ever heard the police siren in the song? Stephanie said Irene connected to that hotel, so that's how she got the room. Well, Stephanie, we talked about it the other day, and I know that Brianna is the person that sells the rooms. So I feel like Brianna hooked them up and got the room. And of course, when you get rooms like that, and that's the avenue that you go through, where somebody gets the room for you with a stolen credit card. You usually pay for the room with a stolen credit card, and then they give you the cash for the room. So I feel like that's what happened in that situation with getting the room. Tab said room 926. Room 926 sounds like it was in the back and around a corner. I'm sure Irene made sure of that. Exactly. Right. Yeah, Nini, I'm saying, if you've heard the song, do you hear how in the video you hear the police siren? In that song, is there a police siren that you hear? Bryce said the problem here is Rosemont is so corrupt. I listen, I believe that a lot of police departments are corrupt. I do believe that, but what is the corruption? Like what is the corruption that happened that they are trying to cover up? Because at the end of the day, the police didn't do anything wrong. They received a phone call saying that somebody was missing. They advised her that she could wait a certain amount of time to do the police report, or she could do the police report at that very moment on the telephone. She skipped over that part and said, okay, so do you suggest I come back tomorrow? He said, that's fine if that's what you want to do. Where's the corruption in what the police department did? I mean, let's open this discussion here. What is it that the police are trying to cover up? Because they didn't do anything. There's no payout from the police department. The police department doesn't have to pay that woman out. They didn't do anything wrong. Karine said this child needs to be able to rest in peace. I agree 100%. I definitely believe in that. Reality said her friend got her killed, end of story, and she's still not in jail. Shaking my head. Exactly. Her friends, more than one friend, is what I believe. I believe that they all played a part in it. They all had a role to play. They all knew about it. I don't know if it has to do with the brother. I can't say that. I don't know. I don't really know where that story generated from. I was able to do my background checks into the brother. It does look like he was a part of Gangsta Disciples or Blood Disciples. So they all came from the same neighborhood as what it looks like to me. I don't really understand the Chicago gangs and how it works. So maybe he was Blood Disciple, and there's cliques within Blood Disciple. I'm not really sure. I don't know how that story with the brother generated, or where it came from, or if there are any facts behind it. As far as it being about the brother, because again, all these stories are stories that we have all. These are all theories, and that's one of the biggest problems is I feel like everybody started coming up with their theories, and because somebody felt that it sounded like a reasonable theory, then everybody, large groups of people ran with that particular theory. Like there was no facts behind why it would involve the brother, or there's no facts behind it involving the brother. It was a theory that somebody gave, they reached, and everybody grabbed it and ran with it. Right, and of course, Mr. Tolliver has disappeared. He's nowhere around us right now, but he'll be around Rosemont Police really soon. Reality said Kanika best friend, Monifa boyfriend, got killed by Kanika's brother. And again, so what I'm asking Reality is, can we fact check that? Can we check the facts that we are guaranteed that for a fact her brother killed Tolliver's brother? Is there any article where we can put those names together?
But what I do know is I don't know too many people that go on the run and not running from something.
Well, no, I don't think he's innocent. I don't think Tolliver is innocent at all. I'm just saying we're checking facts. The main conversation that we're having is we're talking about how Lewis and them have thrown all this information out and nobody's fact checking. So let's check our facts. Is there a fact behind it? And if so, please somebody send me the information in my YouTube inbox, or you can post the link in the chat box so that we can bring it up and we can review it. Because again, I haven't been able to find anywhere where I have been able to even associate Tolliver with Kanika's brother. Now, I have been able to associate Tolliver with Monifa, and I have been able to see that there was somebody who passed away. But I can't associate that person who passed away with it being the person that her brother killed.
Okay, now what I did find is if Now, Kanika's brother's full name is Kenny Lee Martin. His full name is Kenny Lee Martin. Every time you go to Google and you put in Kenny Lee Martin, it doesn't bring up information on, it would at first, it brought up information on him. Now, if you go in and put in Kenny Lee Martin, it will not bring up information on him. It automatically reverts to Kanika. It automatically reverts to anything that involves Kanika and Kanika's case. Nothing about him, which I found very odd. So it's almost like the police or whoever has gone in and has shut down any of the news articles or anything that was pertaining to her brother and the murder that he was supposedly a part of. You cannot get any information on that. It automatically goes straight to Kanika. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that or tried it, but if you go in and put in Kenny Lee Martin, it automatically sends you to Kanika, which automatically lets you know that Kanika is tied in to Kenny Lee Martin. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
Well, I know I was able to do some fact checks. I am having an issue with that word today, guys. Sorry. Give me just a minute to pull up my notes. And I did see where Teresa has a tattoo. Teresa has a tattoo. And the names on her tattoo are Lenore, Kanika, Kenneth, and U-Man. U-Man, sorry. I pulled up U-Man. U-Man is Kanika's sister's baby daddy. Right. So I definitely want to look into that. It's her daughter's baby daddy. U-Man is a nickname, his street name. So I did look that up. So I don't know if I don't know why she would have for her right. Okay, Ebony, you want me to say that again, Ebony? Did that make sense to you guys? You want me to tell me if you want me to say that again, Ebony? Let me repeat that. Teresa has a tattoo of a bunch of names on her chest. The names that she has is Lenore, Kanika, Kenneth, and U-Man. So it looks like it's a tattoo of her children's names.
And U-Man could be the nickname for Kanika's baby that died.
So I put in U-Man. In Chicago. This is U-Man. 23 years old. He died December 23rd, 2014. And it says that he was fatally shot on East Garfield Park neighborhood. The person who killed him was still not found. So, however, there was a post that the sister put up, and the sister is calling this individual the father of her children. And she speaks on how he passed away and she's taking care of the kids and she's holding the kids down for them. And then she posts another picture talking about how good his hair is, how she never had to worry about him and his hair because he had good hair. So I'm trying to understand the significance of the names because she has Kanika, so it's not names of people who passed away because Kanika's name was on there and the tattoo was old. So I'm trying to figure out where U-Man ties in, the importance behind U-Man, and if there's any type of connection.
The sister did say that the father of her kids had been killed just not that long ago, and the Kanika was her backbone. That every time she would break down or whatever, Kanika was always the one telling her she could make it, she could go on. The sister did say that the father of her children had been killed.
Sweetberry, I don't know. I have no idea, Sweetberry. Sweetberry said, what does the grade of his hair have to do with his death? I don't know. That's what she posted. No, Kanika, it's not Kanika's dad. Kanika's dad's name is Johnny Martin. And then, I'm sorry, Kanika's father's name is Kenny. Her grandfather's name was Johnny Martin. So I don't know. Maybe that's something to look into. I have no idea, guys. Again, I definitely want to. I'm sorry, I saw your intro, Strawberry Rain. I saw your little strawberries in your rain. Hi, Strawberry Rain. Welcome to the room. Hi, Funny. Welcome to the room. I saw somebody else that I didn't get to speak to. Bryce. Hi, Bryce. Welcome to the room. And Buzz. I hope I didn't miss anybody. And he said, why someone say they found her daddy in an oven? Some people are ridiculous. Okay, Annie, you know you have to elaborate. What do you mean in the oven? In an oven in a house? Why you tripping off me? Why you tripping off me? Hi, how you doing? Hi, Lovey. How you doing? Why you tripping said this was the anti-Tommy chat room. Are you saying you didn't know this was the anti-Tommy chat room? We don't do ignorance.
Yeah.
Angeline said her mom is T. Jenkins, so her dad must have been Martin. Yes. Yes, yes. Kanika's father's name is Martin.
The mother is Martin.
Oh, she's saying the last name is Martin. Slow moment. Slow moment.
Kanika's mother and father never married.
Is the person still in the room who said Tanisha went to jail? Can you please come to the light?
Who said, can they come to the light? Who said they didn't?
Can you come forward, please? Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy pedophile. I'm sorry, my auntie told me to stop. I never called that man a pedophile. I promise you guys, I would not even put such a bad word on a person. I am so sorry. Forgive me, guys. Okay. Bryce said, what cops refuse FBI help unless there's something to hide? Well, a lot of times the police do not want the FBI to step in because it shows that you're incompetent. They don't want the FBI to step in because it shows that you are unable to do the job.
Furthermore, they already said the FBI was not stepping in because Rosemont police already informed the FBI that they felt like they had a handle on the case and that they were going to be able to solve or resolve the case without any outside help. The FBI does not have the jurisdiction to just step into cases like that. There's protocol. Right. And for all we know, there might be something that they're doing wrong that they don't want the FBI to have wind of. They say that Kanika's favorite color. Wow. Yep. You know what, Ann? I noticed the same thing. And purple, I don't believe is her favorite color. Purple is also a gang color in Chicago. It is a gang color. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not the one to start no gossip, but the funeral will be purple and white. And Teresa Martin did announce today that there is no charge to get into the funeral. So any of you all that live in Chicago, if you plan on attending the services, could you please go live so we can at least get some glimpse of what the service is like? Yes, and purple does mean scarlet. Tilly, her funeral is Saturday. Her funeral is this coming Saturday. I think they're gonna have a viewing from 10 to 11 or 11 to 12, and then the actual service will be from 12 to 1. I don't know how they're gonna let 10,000 people view the body in 1 hour, but that's what they're doing. No, it's not. They're having a viewing. They're having a viewing from 12 to 1. She had no purple on really in her pictures. She did not have one purple on ever. I even paid attention to her bedroom when she went live in her bedroom many times. I even paid attention, excuse me, to see if she had anything like purple in her room and even in her own bedroom. And most young girls, that's one of the things that they do. If that's her favorite color, her bedroom is going to just show that, or she's going to have something in her room that displays that. Oh, Lovey, I don't know how it's going to be a closed casket when the flyer that the mother put out adamantly said there will be a viewing from 11 to 12, and then the actual service will be from 12 to 1. Well, maybe during the funeral it will be closed, but there will be a 1-hour viewing. Okay, one moment. Here's Jasmine.
Sweetberry said, but the sister wears purple all the time.
Everybody in the month got on purple. They all have purple t-shirts.
Am I the only one that has noticed that the sister has kind of fell back a little? Or a lot? You no longer hear about the sister. Lady J said she's still trying to fix the tampon statement that she made. She made it on live news. She brings up the fact of how tampons do not hurt her sister. They don't hurt it, my sister. Jamal Combs said, laugh out loud, Tommy really be thinking he be doing something, shaking my head. And if he was here trolling, that means he's a hypocrite. Exactly. That's okay. Give me just a moment. Let me check something, guys. No. Well, I believe that was just somebody trolling. For some reason, Auntie and Mom are being, let me see. What am I missing here, guys? Oh, Annie, I did not see that. New Nation said, I wouldn't settle for less, and if my daughter was out in public with Kanika, out in public like Kanika is, then they deserve the truth too. Otherwise, cops get away with not doing their job. Exactly. Connie, we're not even going to go there. That was ridiculous. Well, so anyway, guys, we are trying to make sure that we start keeping the time down. Usually our shows go on for about 4 hours. That's ridiculous. So we're going to start trying to do at least hour, 2-hour shows. I really hate doing that because I feel like I'm cutting people off from what they're saying. I do want to let everybody know that we will go live. We will try to go live daily around 7 p.m. So please make sure that you guys subscribe for those that want to keep in touch with us. And again, we will be back tomorrow. It was good talking to you guys. Great discussion. Make sure that if you guys find out any good tea, you take notes of it so that we're able to look in it with each other together, and make sure that we check our facts.
And also, you guys, hopefully by next week, Lady J and Jasmine will give you all an exclusive look at how we look, so you guys can see who you're talking to. The only reason I have not allowed you all to see Miss Lady J right now is because I need my hair did. I need my hair did in the worst way.
Thank you, Stephanie, for being a moderator. You're beautiful. As people come into the room, we're probably going to need more moderators. So I was about to say next week, just that quick. I was about to lie. I was about to sound like Lewis. Thank you, Cowardice, for being a moderator. We're probably going to need 2 more. You guys have a beautiful night. Make sure you say your prayers and pray for us. And we are out.